Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take a look at a really interesting signal that we found on MQL5, my trading partner and I found. Before I get into that though, let me just say that I am not a financial advisor. If you trade, you just should expect to use all the money you invest. Trading is extremely risky. It's very easy to lose your money. You have to be a big boy and be responsible for your own decisions in trading. Nobody's going to hold your hand or take care of you. You should not trade with money that you don't expect to lose. In other words, you should expect to lose money you're trading with. This is only a video for entertainment. I'm not telling you to trade. Okay, having said that, before I get into the signal that I want to talk to you guys about today, let me just quickly take a look with you at a new live account that I created at the end of March. I've written a few new robots, tweaked a few others, and decided to open a new live account to give these a try. You can see I deposited about $5,000 at 500 to 1 leverage with Trader's Way, and I've been trading it since March 30th. The set of robots has been wildly successful on this account. I really didn't expect this kind of success, but it's been amazing. I don't know if this will continue. I mean, honestly, this is great. Right now, I've had fairly low leverage. I've had about 15% profits, less than 8% or 8% drawdown. You can see that I have made about 4,100 pips since I started this account, which is an insane number of pips. So that's exceptional. I don't know if that'll continue either. You can see that I have an expectancy of about 9 pips, which is really where I want to be. I want to have a high pip expectancy if possible. That's not always possible. On this account, I don't have any scalpers, so that helps keep the level of pips up. You can see the average trade time here is a day, which is fine. I'm okay with a day. You can see that the various robots have opened a bunch of trades, and if we just look at what I've traded a bunch of pairs with these robots. But all in all, I'm hopeful that this suite of robots that I'm running right now, which includes mostly robots that I wrote myself, and a few new ones and a few tweaked, it's looking great. I mean, honestly, it's looking great. I'll keep forward testing it. Let me say, please, before I forget, like and subscribe the video. It really helps if you hit that like button. It really helps if you subscribe. The more likes and subscribes I get, especially subscribes, the more likely I am to make more videos. It makes me more enthusiastic about it. It's a lot of work to make these videos for you guys. If you are interested in what my trading partner and I are doing, over at Concept Financial, I'll put a link in the video description. And if you're interested in having your account professionally traded, you can take a look at what we're doing over there and see if you're interested. So far, I would say that the people that we're trading with have been experiencing a lot of success. I think they're very happy. Anyway, so let me go on to the signal that I want to look at with you guys. So this is the signal. It's called Night Healer. Night Healer has been been running, it says here, for 99 weeks, but there's something interesting about this signal, and that is that you'll note that MQL5.com has notated on this account that the trading style has changed, and trading history before the start of monitoring is not included in statistics. So you can see this gray line here, which denotes when the account was added to MQL5. And essentially, MQL5 has decided, probably with some algorithm, that the trading style was different before it was added compared to after it's added. And so they won't count any of the months prior to it being added. So you can see all these months in gray. They're ignoring them. So I think we should do the same for purposes of this sort of analysis of this signal. And we'll just look at everything from December 2020 onward. And looking at those months, if I just look at those, we're making about 9% a month on this signal, which is quite good, very good. We can also see that the max drawdown is about 19%. However, the leverage is fairly high. This is a 400 to 1 account, broker account, and that means that the leverage is about 55 to 1 here, which is high leverage. Part of that, of course, is due to the fact that this account only had a $50 initial deposit and $117 equity. So it's hard to avoid high leverage when you're running such a small account. So some of these sort of possible problems with this account. Number one, that it's flagged as invalid prior to being added to MQL5. The second thing is that it's traded on such a small account. I always am suspicious when I see these super small accounts on MQL5 because I've seen so many of them just crash and burn, completely destroy themselves and blow the accounts when they're such small accounts. If the author has real faith in this signal, then I would expect the author to put a little more money toward the signal than $50 or $100. That doesn't make sense to me. And in the past, these always seem like flimsy signals when they're such a small amount. It also allows the author to do things like take stupendous risks, because if the account blows, that's okay. Just start another $50 account and take another gamble. And once some gambles hit, then you can put that account live and people start subscribing. Speaking of subscribing, it looks like 209 people are subscribed to this signal with $537,000 in live account value placed running on this signal, which is a lot. Other things we can look at here, you can see the equity, that there are some long drawdown periods, maybe a couple weeks each. So here's one, here's another, a second one, here's a third. So a lot of the history of this account is long drawdowns, fairly long drawdowns. So we have to keep that in mind. It looks like it trades about 5 times a week. Average hold time is 14 hours, quite good. I love seeing that. If we look at the trading history, what you can see here is that every trade I can see is a 0.01. It's a micro lot. And so I don't think there's any martingaling going on here, explicit martingaling. However, we'll see later that the robot can enter multiple trades on the same pair in the same direction, which essentially amounts to, I guess you could call it gridding. Maybe not so much martingaling, although you could consider it martingaling because you're building up your overall position on that trade. I guess it's not. So probably not martingaling going on here. Probably some implicit but not explicit gridding going on. It looks like the way this robot trades is as a breakout trader. Looks like there's some buy stops and sell stops placed at the turnover between the U.S. market and the Aussie-New Zealand market at 5 p.m. U.S. It looks like it places some new trades. It looks like those pending orders are, sorry, I should say places pending orders, not trades. Those pending orders are then either activated or not. If they are activated, it's usually later, several hours later, which is important because you don't really want to generally place trades in that 1 hour of the Aussie-New Zealand markets before the Japanese markets open, because that's when spreads are extremely high. So putting in a pending order is not so bad as long as the order is not filled until later, and usually there's not a lot of market action during that hour. So if you've got a breakout system in place, it's pretty rare that a trade would actually get activated during that hour. So that's good. Anyway, so breakout system, what else can we see? It looks here like they're trading a lot of pairs. As I said, roughly 9% a month. You can see that here. They've made a lot of pips in the roughly 5 months that's covered. They made about 4,900 positive pips and lost about 1,000 pips. So they're up about 3,900 pips with 453 trades. So that's about that, roughly 8 or 9 pips a trade, which is good as an expectancy. What else can we see? If we look at the risk tab, we can see here that deposit load is high when he's in drawdown, when this account is in drawdown. So that's kind of what we would expect here. Overall, we see, I would say, some extended drawdown on this account, but not heavy drawdown. So if you're running it with other robots on the same account, you have to keep in mind that this robot can eat a significant amount of margin for a significant amount of time, meaning a couple weeks, even though it typically will get out of its trades much more quickly. I don't know whether this robot runs a trailing stop. I really couldn't discern that, but I do know that it doesn't set any stop loss. Going back to the trade history, I don't see any stop loss here. So that's interesting. If we look at the reviews, I would say that the reviews are pretty good. He's got 3.5 overall stars, but there are a lot of 5-star reviews here recently. Almost the whole first page is 5-star reviews. So that's good. It means likely that, people that have subscribed to this signal are getting pretty good execution. We like to see that. I took a look at this author, and this author only has one other product, which is this this robot called Voltage Balance Booster. And I looked at the back test. The back test looks pretty strong for this voltage balance booster. And then I read over the description, and I'll just kind of summarize it for you guys. It looks to me like there is some currency strength analysis going on, and possibly some indicators as well. It's hard to tell, but looks like currency strength evaluation to me. So deals are being, pending orders are being placed based on that analysis. And then what this description tells us is that the way they take profit is if there are no more than 4 orders open in the market, then there's a trailing stop put in. So actually there is a trailing stop. There we go. If more than 4 orders are open, in other words, the leverage is getting high, then it closes the profit when it reaches a take profit instead of trailing the stop. So that's a strategy for taking profit. If we look at the reviews here, again, 3 stars, so we've got some good reviews, some bad reviews. But overall, I would say, guys, I get a really good feeling that this robot has a lot of potential. Now, keep in mind the caveats. Number 1, I have not run this robot myself, so I can't really see it trading or verify anything other than what I can see here. Number 2, it did get that warning on MQL5. Number 3, it's a really small account, which is always troubling to me. So I'm not saying, guys, go out and stake a lot of money on this robot. Not at all. All I'm saying is that this robot seems to have some promise and bears watching. Before I end, let me just point out that I think this voltage balance booster is the same robot that's running on this signal. I don't know exactly what settings are running, but I think it's the same robot. Let me also say, I already talked about, don't put all your money on this account. Don't run out and buy it and think it's going to change your life. I'm not saying that at all. If you do decide to run this signal, I would put very small position sizes on this robot. I would be very careful with it, at least initially, because we don't know what this robot's going to do. As always, when trading, capital preservation is key. So, you can see on my account here, I keep the drawdown low. I want a less than 20% drawdown on all of my accounts. I'd like to keep leverage below 40-1 on all of my accounts. And I'm very happy to make 5-6% a month. And because if you do that, you're basically you're doubling your money every year. And we can get rich doubling our money every year. There's no reason to be greedy. We want to keep our head, preserve our capital, and trade professionally. Trading greedy is a quick way to lose your capital and be out of the Forex game, which is what happens to most traders. So you have to take this with a professional mindset. Don't get so excited about this night healer signal. Yes, it looks promising so far, but no, you should not necessarily put a lot of money on this signal. You want to go in slowly and try to understand the landscape before increasing your risk and twisting that risk dial up slowly, not quickly. As always, you really have to be cognizant of preserving your capital in Forex. Also, I think I mentioned earlier, but check us out at Concept Financial if you're interested. And like and subscribe the video. Thank you.